says me to the peak. Without no regret, you got no love. Without no love, you got no regret. Without no regret, you got no love. A melody where I belong in this life.
Welcome to T-Boys TV. We're back again with another Hatter Show, obviously episode 70. And obviously new thumbnail, new era. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I haven't quite officially got a manager yet, but obviously Nathan Jones is officially gone. And of course, like always, I'm joined with the one, the only, Darren. How are you, Dad?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. You?
Yep, I'm all good. Obviously, unfortunately, we did have that not so great last performance midweek, which obviously we'll get into. But the first thing, so the run through it today, we'll talk about Nathan Jones, obviously, because we haven't done it since, obviously, there was the rumours. And then, obviously, we'll get into the Stoke City game. And then, obviously, we'll preview Rotherham, of course. And, obviously, while we talk about Nathan Jones, we'll go into odds and, you know, who could be the next manager, etc. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, obviously, Nathan Jones, he's gone. Like I put on the title, goodbye, Nathan Jones. You know, it was most likely going to happen. Like I said on the match review, you know, at the end of the day, I see some more people coming to realisation of it. But again, I still see some people calling him a snake and that, which I don't agree with personally, you know, because at the end of the day, like I said, they're an established Premier League team that he's gone to, you know, and yeah, they're in the battle, but you know, he wants to prove something. He's not going to turn that down. It could be a once in a lifetime. Do you know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. Obviously, it was a bit weird, like we said, going into the game that it was against Stoke, obviously, where his last game most likely is going to be, because obviously that's who he left for originally. Yeah, man, goodbye to him. Big up everything he's done. Obviously, I am going to read out what he said. So this is the message he said to all the Luton fans. So he said, at the end of a whirlwind couple of days, I wanted to take the time to thank everyone connected with Luton Town Football Club for their support since I first walked into Kenilworth Road as a manager in 2016. I love everyone and everything about Luton, even from my brief spell as a player, and it's really difficult to explain how to leave something special. It has to be for something extra special. This was a special opportunity to go and work in the Premier League and to work at a really established club, comes into what I say, that came in for me because of certain things we did together at Luton. Southampton like how we worked and they want to build in exactly the same way. There have been a number of opportunities to leave, but I never considered them in any way. This just seemed like too good of an opportunity to turn down. Links to what I said, you know, it could be a once in a lifetime. I'd like to thank everyone at the club, from the board to the staff to the players and the fans, because without all of you and without the support and faith shown in me 2.5 years ago, I would never be in this position. When I came back, I needed Luton as much as Luton needed me. So it's a real alignment. I knew what I was coming back into. I knew it wasn't a gamble. I knew we could do good work together just because of the people involved and the players we had. Since then, we've built and we've grown, and I think we've left the club in a real healthy state with a wonderful group of players who give everything for the club. I want to thank every Luton fan for the messages they've sent me because 99% have been really understanding. Believe me, it has been tough for me to take the decision to leave. And at the moment, I feel homesick because I'm coming away from places that I've loved and known for so long, leaving so many good friends and so many people I generally care about. But I know Luton Town are in great hands with Mick, Gary and the board. It's been a privilege to manage a wonderful football club that is run in the right way by passionate supporters. And I wish everyone at Kenilworth Road the very best for the future. With a little chum and you at us at the end. So, yeah, man, really nice message. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's one of them. What did you make of the message, Dad?
Yeah, it's decent. It's you know, you can tell he means it as well. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. You know, and he's right. If we didn't give him that second opportunity, then he wouldn't even be doing what he's doing now. That's it. It's facts. So let's look at the bigger picture. you know, what he was saying about Southampton. They like the way we worked, our structure. That's the main thing. Yeah. So we just need to get another manager to fit that. We thought we had that in Graham Jones, but clearly we didn't. You know, if you make a mistake, make them early, and then you know we won't be making that mistake again. Good luck to him. I think he'll do well. A lot of people were saying that he ain't about to handle the players in the Premier League and all this crap. Do you know what I mean? Just media talk, really. You know, there might be a couple of players, you know, but you get them in every club anyway, and then eventually just get dropped or outed, isn't it? So I think he'll do well. I actually do, and you know, I've seen a lot of people, you know, kind of, oh yeah, but it's Luton he managed and all this. Do you know what I mean? And that's the funny thing, because that shows you how narrow-minded some of these Premier League fans are.
Exactly.
It's going, mate. I'm not, you know, obviously he's not going to get off. You know, he's got a very tough game initially. You know, it's going to take him a couple of months. You know, but he's got the World Cup break.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it might even be a bit quicker, but you know, obviously he's not going to end up going out and smashing up Liverpool. It's not what happened, is it? got to see what they've got, see what the best, you know, is. But he'll be out. He'll work it out. They'll stay up, guarantee it. So we move on. I'm quite excited about moving on, because part of me is like, you know, it could happen in the future. It's happened sooner than we expected. But it's how we deal with it, how we roll with the punches, and this is another milestone for us. And you know, I still think we're going to be all right, because you know, everything else is there. You know, and sometimes, you know, we did draw a lot of games under Nathan Jones as well. Like, maybe we can, you know, we'll see. That's it. Like, fair play to him. Good luck to him.
And obviously Sheehan and everyone that's went with him as well.
Well, no, Sheehan, you know, he was only with us for a little while. Do you know what I mean? And like, how much real impact did he have? I don't know.
Time will tell.
Some free kicks and that we sucked, you know, but it weren't like, you know, it's not that. I don't think it's that bad. Chris Cohen, again, he worked with Nathan, so it's part of that anyway. Like, that's fine. It's better for us. I think we've still got like sports scientists and fitness coaches. I think Paul Hart's still there as well. We've still got other coaches. Boris Forbes is still there. Obviously, like, there's still a good structure there, like the coaches and that. So that's good. I think last time he took them with him, or a lot more staff with him. This time I don't think that's going to happen. We've already got this already balanced there, which needs someone to come in and take hold of the steering wheel and have, you know, be of similar ilk. But you know, Nathan Jones is a one-off as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's so unique in like this size and that, and you know, he's just the way he is on the touchline, and then, you know, he's calm pretty much when he talks most of the time as well. But when he's on that pit, you know, technical career and that, he's a different animal. But we just need to, you know, you ain't going to get the same, but you need someone with the same, you know, philosophy as what the club wants, and you know, they can go, look, we can see that players can be improved from lower league levels and that, and we can turn them into better players. Like, it's been done. So can you do that? You know, they know what they're doing, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm going to go through some comments before you get into the next bit. Hanno said, new thumbnail win, ? Hopefully, mate. Hopefully. Obviously, it's only right. We had to change it up. Need to change the intro at some point as well. Honorary Luton says, big up Tyler's daddy speaks facts, and maybe Tyler. Maybe. I'll see how it is. Only joking. Birmingham win tonight. They're going to the playoffs till tomorrow, but may stay there if Luton don't win. And Preston at the Swansea and QPR. Yeah, I know. It's mad. Like I said, for me, obviously it talked about Luton, but most improved team for me in the Championship said that, and that's Birmingham. Jackie says, hi, Ty, Daz, and all. I'm excited for the next chapter. Come on, you hatters. Exactly. Thank you for coming on. Big up Blue Terrier. He says, yo. And obviously, we'll get into obviously manager, odds and next manager, etc. in a second. But obviously, he says Stephen Robertson favourite for Luton job, which I did see that. So yeah, there's that. We'll get into that now. But I'm just quickly before we do that, I agree with you with Nathan Jones. I think he'll do well. I did actually go on the Southampton fans podcast earlier to talk about it. So when that does come out, he'll let me know, and obviously I'll promote it so you lot can listen to it and all of that. But yeah, next manager. Obviously there is now shouts because obviously Nathan Jones left, of course. I'm going to share the screen and see, who's up there. So obviously Stephen Robertson is up there top. Obviously he's currently at St Mirren, obviously in Scotland. Former Luton player. I know that. I don't know too much about him, but I do know he used to play for us. So I think that's probably mainly why he's up there for that link. Would you agree with that, Dad?
Yeah, and he's got a bit of managerial experience, albeit all in Scotland, I believe. But he's done reasonably well with Motherwell. But I think it'd be a bit of a punt.
Yeah.
But I can see why it's up there. It could be the first club. I can see the attraction. The first club. I don't think he's managed in England before. If he hasn't, we'd be the first one. He used to play for us. He was half decent midfielder for us, to be fair. Scored against Liverpool in that 5-3 FA Cup game.
Yeah, that was crazy.
For a couple, he played really well in that game. So I guess it could be looked at because if he's got that mentality and it brings back all the memories being at Luton and Mick Hartland know him and think, you know what I mean? So I can see that. I just don't know if he's got enough, but who knows? Nathan Jones was just a coach. He's
exactly.
managing. You know what I mean? He's been managing. It's not like Gerrard's first job was Rangers, and then a couple of seasons there, I think it was, and then Premier League. Probably too far for him. So yeah, I could see it working, but I don't know. I think there's better options out there, personally.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you on that. Like I said, I haven't seen a lot of him, in his managerial sense, but I'm just looking at it with other managers that are up there for odds, and I'm thinking, they've had that experience in the Championship, or even in, more the English leagues. Like I said, I think he's been in Scotland for most of his career, if not all of it, as a manager. So obviously the next one, Neil Critchley, obviously done an amazing job with Blackpool. Obviously took them up from League One. They won it quite convincingly, as far as I'm aware. Obviously he's had I remember a couple of seasons ago at times, I think it was in the League Cup games, he took over for Liverpool games a few times. I remember he used to do the the pre-match stuff as well. And yeah, man, what he done overall with Blackpool was obviously good. Reason he left, as we know, was obviously to be an assistant with Gerrard at Villa. Again, another Premier League opportunity. All right, it's not being the main man, but it's still, still decent. This one, I would probably be really happy with, to be fair. Your thoughts on it, Dad?
Yeah, he's definitely got the right attributes in that. He took a team from League One to the Championship, kept him there, playing some decent football. Do you know what I mean? With the rest of our structure, it could work really well. Obviously, to me, when he left Blackpool, I was quite surprised to go for assistant manager with Gerrard, because he's probably got more experience than Gerrard. Do you know what I'm saying? Sort of put himself down a bit, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But I think that it's probably it's a difficult one, really. between him and Robinson, but because they've both got their pros and you know what I mean. But you could say that Critch has only managed in the Championship for one season anyway. But he kept him up, I believe, and then started off. And you've got a good sort of structure of the squad there. They obviously probably need to sign some more players or whatever. But again, he's highly regarded. And he's been at Liverpool, so I reckon he'll get the team playing good football. And I think he's done that at Blackpool as well. He likes to play good football. Do you know what I mean? And he will probably be likely to concentrate on that and work with the players on doing that more than and then switching up the style a bit, because we were we were taking advantage of Adebayo and the other strikers because of the pace and their size and that. Morris's strength and just punting it up to him. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I don't think it works all the time. I think sometimes I think we look better when we're passing it around. And do you know what I mean? I haven't really got any idea of Robertson plays, but I'd be all right with him. Yeah, no,
100%. Blue Terrier, big up to him. He says Stephen Robertson has managed Morecambe and Oldham.
But I'm not sure he's done much then.
So I don't know too much of him.
But he has got quite a bit of experience. It's just like, mate, is it a comfort zone being in Scotland? That's the thing.
Yeah, true. Obviously, the next one, Rob Edwards. He was actually our rivals manager at the start of the season. Hanno's asking, who in the living hell is that? He was actually the Watford manager at the start of the season, mate. What's your thoughts on this one? Because this one, I'm not really sure. I'm not even being biased, basing it on his time at Watford. I just don't know. I remember when Watford done that appointment, I did think, looking at it as a neutral, I did think it was a bit risky, to be fair.
Well, they didn't even give him the time anyway, really, to be honest. So, they're the idiots who went, we're going to honour it and we're going to make a change of direction and then end up doing the same crap that they always do. I don't think... what did he do? Take Fleetwood up? Was it Fleetwood or something? Forest Green.
Yeah, that's it. Forest Green, yeah, that's it.
He was doing well with them, but I think they were kicking into gear anyway, Forest Green. So I don't feel like he's got enough experience for me to be taking runs at Luton, and it's nothing to do with the Watford link. Do you know what I mean? He was barely there. Do you know what I mean? He might as well have just went in there, had a burger and shit, and come back out again. Do you know what I mean? That's it. So, but not for me. Not for me.
I'm the same.
Yeah. Who else have they got? The chances are it won't be any of them.
Yeah.
Don't think it would be Mark Bonner, the Cambridge one. Again, not enough for me. Gary O'Neill.
That is one I
wouldn't mind Gary O'Neill. I think he's like Bournemouth. They're still they're half expecting someone else to come in, but he's still got them playing and scoring. They're right, they're letting goals, but they're scoring plenty of goals. Do you know what I mean? And, I think it'd be worth a good punt. Sometimes it's good to go for someone a bit raw. Do you know what I mean? But they'll do their research on him, and if it's all positive, then it's a possibility.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I won't go, too much further down. We'll go through a few more, and then that's it. Obviously, I can't see Mick Arthur. I just see him. Obviously, he is the interim for tomorrow, but I can just see him, doing what he usually does, and that's obviously more the scouting sort of things and more inside the club, So I'm not going to go through that one. Wilder, I can't see it, and the reason I say that is I think our main aim is to get someone who's obviously, I know Neil Critchley's not awfully young, but from what I'm seeing, we're trying to get someone who's fairly young or someone that's going to be on it on the touchline. That's what I'm making out of. I haven't heard the whole interviews of Gary Sweet and that. They only show a little bit on YouTube, and I don't have an iFollow account, because that's the only way you can fully listen to it properly. So yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. That's why I don't think Chris Wilder. Are you the same on that one, Dad?
Yeah, and that's it from that list. Like really, like the other mumblings are like potentially Schumacher.
Yeah, he is up there. Yeah, I was just trying to find him, and then that was it.
Yeah,
He is.
you know, he's got 58% win ratio there, and that's like kind of what Nathan Jones had with us. So like, yeah, it's early days, but he does seem to be that kind of, you know, he turned them around. It's not just this season, the season before, like they just missed out on the getting in the playoffs because they lost on the final day. Like they bottled it, but then they come back the next season even stronger,
Smashing it up. Yeah.
Yeah, like absolutely, you know. And I've watched some of their highlights. They actually played really good football.
They do.
It reminded me of Luton when they were in League One, to be honest with you. Again, but you've got to take these risks, and that's what we do. Do you know what I mean? You know, you've got Jody Morris in there, who's you know, got, you know, he seems to have the right mentality. I don't think he's got major experience per se, but he's been assistant and that, and I think he's like took like under 21s or under 18s teams, and you know they've done really well. Richard Wellings has just come into it. Don't know, again, I think he's quite not sure if that's his only job. He used to be quite a good player, I know that, but yeah, so that's it for now. It's just because otherwise we can, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be rambling.
Within 2 days, there'll be someone on there who'll just be jumping in the top 3.
Yeah, exactly. And the good thing is, you know, it has come in a good time for us in a sense where we've got the World Cup coming up now, so we can, you know, look more into it. And I like that we've obviously got Mick Harford and that tomorrow, because obviously they know the club, and we've got some former players, you know, that'll be on the touchline with him. So. Yeah, man. But my main ones that I'd be looking at personally is the three. I'll say three: O'Neill, Critchley, and Schumacher. They'd be mine. Not in that order. Just they would be the three for me. Your three, Dad?
Pep, Klopp, and listen, Critchley for me looks probably the best on paper, but it's not always about that, is it? So they've got to be as hungry. They've got to really be hungry for it, and I think it could be Schumacher.
Yeah. I'm thinking that'll be the main.
I'm reckoning that's the guy we're going to get.
He's a young one as well. And like you said, he has got similar things that you see in him to Nathan Jones, and the way Plymouth are playing as well. You know, like we said, we know they got close to getting playoffs last year, and then obviously
just give them a 2-year contract or something, or 2.5 year, and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, absolutely. Jackie says on Rob Edwards, wouldn't trust him after Forest Green.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, because you know when Nathan Jones done the dirty Stoke. You know, their board had learnt from that, and he done that. He jumped ship, that guy. Do you know what I mean? But the thing is, like, was he going to jump ship from, you know, from Luton? Like, you know, he'd have to be do better than what Nathan Jones has done to get the job in the Premier League. Because look how long they've not just looked at Nathan Jones' last season playoffs and that. They've looked at the whole thing. Southampton have looked at him from League 2 all the way up. That's what they've looked at. And, you know, who would go for Rob Edwards just based on one seat? He'd have to be at Luton for at least 2 or 3 years. And by then, we should be in the Premier League anyway. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like Jackie's got a good point there. You know, being proper. And part of me was thinking, you must know what's going on there. You ain't in the last 6 months. Didn't even last a month, I don't think. That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
So I can't see that. No, don't think he's got enough. I think Forest Green were in League 2 anyway, weren't they? Do you know what I mean? So it's not like
yeah. And it links back to what I said earlier. You know, I felt it was a massive.
And they were, like I said, they were on the up anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, look. Put into context. You know, like when Nathan Jones left us when we was in League 1. Well, we'd only just got promoted, right? And then, you know, Stoke all right in the Championship, but Premier League club really. Yeah. And we had like, I don't know, I think it was January, so we still had like 12 games or more than that to go. And we didn't have a manager, but we was, you know, Mick just stepped in, he was just steered the ship, you know what I mean? And so we was on the up, if that makes sense. I reckon even if an assistant had come in, Paul Hart or someone else had come in, I still think we would have done it. So no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. 100%. Big up Kenny says I've got community posts. That's good, mate. That's good. He reckons Neil Critchley and Schumacher, I mean, butchered his name for some reason, are the two in my opinion. Obviously, they're two of my three.
Because a couple of people have ruled themselves out. Dyche just ruled himself out.
Yeah.
He said he's holding out for a Premier League job. And Gary O'Neill's just said, no, I'm not talking about it. Do you know what I mean? So, which he's probably going to say anyway, but
yeah,
I've got a feeling it's going to be Schumacher.
Same. Schumacher, the F1 driver, manager.
Exactly. I was thinking as well, I know. It fits with us, doesn't it, actually? Do you know what I mean? Because we are going to be rooming up the league, you know what I mean?
Hey, I like that one. Blue Terror says Liam Manning, not for me. That's the MK Dons manager. You look at the position they're in League One, considering where they were last season.
What is that? Because he lives down the road or something? Why have they messaged him? I don't know where
I can't see that. Maybe it's just asking a question, but me personally, I wouldn't take it either.
Yeah.
No way. Big up Lewis. He says, "Evening lads. Big up yourself, mate. Hope you're well." And then obviously Kenny talking to Lewis about the United game. But anyway, that is that. What we'll get onto now is obviously Stoke game midweek. Gutting, man. Absolutely gutting. Obviously, due to the fact, obviously Nathan Jones' last game as well. Obviously, we did get asked a question by Jackie going into the game. Will it affect the players? Obviously, I think based on how that game went, you could tell it did. It was one of them. Obviously, I've done a watch along to it, and it was one of them games, where we conceded them early goals. I felt it was going to be one of them long nights again. It gave me remembrance of the Watford game and the Bristol City game. Them sort of away games this season where we concede early and then we just don't really. It's just not really great. Other than that, in the game, obviously the lineup. Was obviously for us, of course, was obviously Isted in goal. Obviously, Ethan come out and said he was ill. Obviously, Isted though very good backup keeper. I like, of course, when he stepped in against Chelsea in the FA Cup last season, he's phenomenal. And again, he's another player I give massive credit to, similar to Dan Potch. How long they've been at the club, they could have easily wanted to, move somewhere else. But obviously, he was in goal. Obviously, at the back, obviously, it was the back four again. It was obviously the lack of centre-backs that we've got. Obviously, it's Bell on the left, of course, Bree on the right, Lockyer and Osho at the back. So exact back four we both went with in that one. And then, obviously, the midfield, it was obviously Cornick as the higher sort of one, so like the Campbell, Ruddock and Clark. I said the exact same midfield bar Cornick as higher up. I said Berry. And then obviously the front two we expected, obviously Elijah and Morris. When I saw that lineup, I was happy with it. I was fairly happy with it. The only thing I would have maybe done is play Berry over Cornick, but other than that, I was happy with the lineup. Your thoughts on it, Dad?
Yeah, it is what it is. I expected them all to be picked, and I'm not really going to say other than that. Oh, obviously the only surprise was Ice coming in goal, but again, that was like, oh, here we go, yeah, that's another sign. Do you know what I mean? Right? Yeah. Expected Berry and Ruddock to be, picked again. So.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, going into the first half, like I said, it was one of them games where we conceded another early goal very early on, 3rd minute. Nick Powell with the goal. Obviously, disappointing from a defensive, point of view. I feel we could have defended it a lot better, especially when the ball's been played in through the middle. No one's marking, and if you give a player like that time and space, he's not going to miss. Obviously, it took the lead early on, and then literally 10 minutes later, they scored again. Obviously, Lockyer with an own goal. I thought it was a bit unfortunate from Lockyer, to be fair. And yeah, it's just it was frustrating, wasn't it?
Yeah, first got O'Shea's too rusty. It was a shit performance for him. And then we're missing Bradley. We're missing a settled back four. That's all I put that down to.
Yeah.
You can't, everyone always, because Bell's in the vicinity, he just gets the blame. You know what I mean? He's not a centre back. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's in the vicinity because he's trying to chase back. That's O'Shea's responsibility. Powell's a good player, but you allow him a free header in the box. The other goal, it was just unlucky. He tried to divert it away and it just ended up in. Them things happen, but it's just meant it's just going to be one of them nights, and that's what I put it down to, really. Do I think the players were affected? Yeah, I do. They said they haven't, but I do think that they were in the fact that they were trying too hard.
Exactly.
That's what I think. But other than that, I didn't think it was a bad performance. But in the second half, I thought we were much better, and I thought, we had a lot of the ball, like loads of possession. We don't normally have that much possession. They were letting us a little bit, but they were poor. We should have punished them. There was various chances that we just because they were trying too hard, just didn't put them away. I didn't think we played that badly considering the circumstances. Do you know what I mean? And the injuries to the defenders we've got. We've got 3 defenders out injured, and the goalkeeper ill. So, to put it into context a little bit and the situation, Nathan Jones, don't care who he was still animated, but he was nowhere near as animated as he normally would be, especially against the team that he used to manage. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it was just a bit. It was just one of them games. It is what it is.
Yeah. No, we'll get into player ratings very shortly. Like you said, we was trying too hard at times. There was a couple of times where Morris had the ball, and it's just trying to take them extra touches. He could have maybe crossed the ball in a little bit earlier. So, Cornick had about taking too many touches.
That chance he had where he hit straight at the keeper. Normally, he would have buried. He would have.
Yeah, exactly.
He would have placed that. He would, you know what I mean? Because he's got that intelligence. You know what I mean? But it was just.
Yeah.
Lockie's chance was good as well.
Yeah, I was going to say Lockyer had a good chance. Cornick had a good chance.
Anything. But it's what it is. I ain't dwelling on it. It didn't impact us too badly because other top teams in the playoffs and that lost, surprisingly. And Sheffield United lost to Rotherham as well, didn't they? So,
yeah,
but that doesn't mean much to me. I do think Sheffield United are a bit overrated anyway, and I do believe that the title race potentially is quite open.
Oh yeah,
I know, but I
agree with that.
Burnley were looking good, but then they just capitulated against Sheffield United. Do you know what I mean? I think they probably just underestimated Rotherham. To be honest with you, we won't, but it's a change now. And the players are definitely going to be up for it. And the fans are still definitely be up for it. Mickey Arthur's there. He used to manage Rotherham as well, I think. So it's going to be nice.
Last one before the World Cup as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think the performance was that bad. I just think it affected them, and it was just I was getting annoyed at seeing Nathan Jones a little bit on the touchline, just thinking he's definitely going. He's definitely going. You know what I mean? They want him because they want a piece of Luton Town or what Luton Town's got. But what we've got, he's just a cog in that process. Do you know what I mean? They ain't got the rest of that machine. Do you know what I'm saying? It's going to take them While they have to align themselves with him. If they don't, it won't work.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and they have to give him the time. I think they will, and if they'll ignore the fans if they start, you know, because they'll be fickle as anything. They'll lose to Liverpool and they'll go, "Yeah, we want him out." All right, you know.
Yeah. You know that's gonna happen.
You've got to give him 10 games at least and see where you are, see what position you're in. I mean, your team's you've been stagnant for years. Your team's like, you know, not too great. Like when you start signing Premier League has-beens, that's when you end up going down because they're just there for the paycheck.
Exactly.
In my opinion. So yeah, but he'll change it around. He will get rid of players and that. He will start laying down his authority on that. He has to.
100%. Definitely.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go into player ratings. Before we do that, let me just go into a few comments. Kenny's just asking about World Cup predictions. I'm the same as you, mate. I'm going to do them a day before. You know, I see lots of people do them early. Half of them are probably regretting that now because the injury list is just crazy for this year's World Cup. You know, a lot of people have said France, you know, to win it, and their midfield, I don't even know half of their midfield what it's going to be. Jackie says we played well second half. Yeah, exactly. It links to what Dad said. It's just, yeah, you can just tell they were affected and should have been better. I felt with chances, but is what it is. Is what it is. And yeah, let's move on to the player ratings. So obviously we'll start off with Isted. I don't think it was too bad from him. Obviously, I've seen better from him, but you know, there was a few. I think there was a time where I don't know. I think he meant to pass it out, but it just wasn't great, and I think I got annoyed. Oh, God's sake, like I said, it wasn't terrible though. It wasn't terrible. You know, he done all right coming out claiming the ball. It's just not Ethan, is it? I'm gonna go with 6.5.
Yeah, so I was going to go with. Like, he made that one really good save. But you know, he's rusty, and he's not hardly played any championship games. And
just quickly, sorry, I forgot as well. He made a really good save in the second half, I believe it was, when he tipped it over. That was a good save, to be fair.
Yeah, and he was a bit naive, like with the kick out. You know, I think it's just rusty, really. And then there was one where he sort of carried it out of play or got nudged off of the ball. He's a bit like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Naive.
I know what I'm about. Yeah.
You know, you can't really fault him for the goals. But then part of me was wondering, I wonder if Ethan would have got that. But you know, that's just is what it is. Arguing 6.5, yeah.
Yep, no, absolutely. Moving on to the next player, James Bree. This one's difficult for me.
Trying too hard. He was trying too hard. He looked annoyed as well, though. He actually looked. It looked like it affected him. I think definitely his mind definitely didn't seem to be on that game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As for a rating, again, I'm going to go over 6.5, I think.
I'm going to give him a 6.
6. Fair enough. Moving on to the next player, Bell. Obviously defensively, not great from anyone. Again, like my dad said earlier, I see some people say some wild stuff about him. For me, he was our third best player last season. You know, I'll stand by that. This season, he's definitely been one of the best. I'm not saying he has been the best, but he's definitely been up there. You know, a lot of people, oh, yeah, but defensively, he's not been great at times. Yeah, the times where he's not been great, he's been playing left centre back, which is not his main position. You know, he's a fullback / wing back. You know, I'm gonna go Bell. I'll give it 7 for Bell.
Yeah, he got forward on a few occasions, but again, it probably affected him a little. It affected them all, man. I think, you know, if it affects a couple of them, even though some of them like that didn't affect me, then but it affected enough of them. Do you know what I mean? So 6.5.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I was thinking that. Moving on to the midfield, we'll start off with Campbell. Not just him, but I did feel the whole, because it affected everyone, like my dad said. I felt the midfield was overrun quite easily at times. It's nowhere near, obviously, well, the whole midfield, but it's nowhere near, you know, levels we know Campbell can play at. Especially from our expectations of him, because how good we believe he is, like we say on pretty much every episode. I'm going to go with 6.5.
Yeah, same, just the same as what you said. Like, you can't, we had a lot of the ball in that, but it wasn't the Campbell that we used to seeing, was it? So
no, exactly. But yeah, moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Ruddock. Again, like I said, the whole midfield was overrun. Obviously, it's not the performances we've seen Ruddock. As of recent, another 6.5 for me.
Yeah, exactly the same reasons for Campbell. He was a bit off it. He's up to the last couple of games. It's going to affect Pelly quite badly as well. Like, so, he'll get over it, but the timing of it will just knock anyone off their perch. And that's exactly what happened. Do you know what I mean? 6.5.
Yeah, moving on to the next player. We're going to Jordan Clark. Again, yeah, I'm going to give all the midfielders 6.5, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember him doing too much wrong. He had quite a bit of the ball, but again, it was sort of, he was all right though. 6.5 though, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Cornick, I was a little bit disappointed because maybe if he did score that chance, might have had a glimmer of hope we can get back into it. But then again, I just don't know with how the game was going. For me, he should have done better. So he was taking quite a lot of touches at times. It might sound harsh, but I'm going to give him 6.
What did we give Osho?
Oh, we haven't even done Osho, have we?
My
bad. Osho, yeah, not great from him. I'm going to give Osho a 6.
No, I'll give him 5.5, mate. He was terrible. And he got booked again as well. I was like, what are you doing, mate? Do you know what I mean? He just looked well off of it.
Yeah. Exactly. Hanno's already done his player rate. He just said everyone gets a 4. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Do you know what I mean? So obviously we've just done Cornick. Moving on to the front two. Elijah. We'll start off with Elijah. There's times in games where he tries, and we've said it, and I felt sorry for him that he hasn't, it ended up in the back of the net. But in this game, it's taking too many touches at times. Like I said, very similar to Cornick. I'm going to have to give him I'm going to go with another 6.
I'm just going to 6.5 for him. The effort was there, but it just weren't quite coming off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. And Morris, again, like I said, I've seen better from him. You mentioned that chance earlier. He usually would have buried that. There was times, I was getting frustrated on the watch long because he was taking too many touches. I'm like, cross it in, like just, he cut back again, then he'd cut back again. Obviously, it's not what we used to see of Morris. So again, I'm going to give another 6.
Did we do Lockyer?
I just completely forgot to do the whole back three. Or the back 2 centre backs, sorry. Lockyer. Yeah, obviously got that own goal. I thought it was quite unfortunate, I'll be honest.
I thought he was the only one who looked like he wanted it, to be honest with you. And he was captain as well. I'll give him a 7.
7?
Yeah,
I'm going to agree.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just unfortunate. And he probably nearly scored. He looked like, he wanted it.
Yeah.
So that's good going forward for us.
Yeah, and shout out to Lockyer, by the way. Obviously, I did put it on my Instagram, but he did get into the World Cup team. So big up to him. He's going to be hopefully he'll actually start and play against England. And obviously, Ethan got in the team as well, which I knew that one was definitely going to happen. It's not whether I, obviously don't rate Lockyer. Of course I do. It's just I don't know if their manager, former players, what they're like with trying to stir things up. But he did get in. So credit to him. And it's a bit annoying they're both in England's group, USA and Wales, but there we go. Is what it is. So yeah, there's that. And then obviously we'll move on to players that come on. which was obviously Berry come on first for Campbell. Now that was the first sub I said to do, not for Campbell, but I said bring Berry on. I went for Cornet. I said do it round about the 50th to 55th minute. Then I think, because in times in that game we was missing, Berry's movement, that he creates and gets into to, put opposition players off. We was missing that definitely. So that's why I said about it. And Cornet, like I say, I felt he's trying to do too much. Like I said, not the only one, but yeah. Berry, can't give him too high of a rating, but I did feel he tried to do things. You know what I mean? He tried to do that different thing. I'm going to go... What do I go with? I'm going to go with 7. It might sound mad, but I'm going to go with 7.
I don't know. Like again, it's just they just had a lot of the ball. I don't remember anyone like 6.5.
Yeah, fair enough. No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. And then moving on, we'll name these both at the same time. Doherty and Jerome. When Jerome comes on at the moment, he comes on, try and impact. But again, you can't really blame him for this one. This game was, when we conceded the early goals, I just felt it was going to be one of them games again. I'm just going to give him and Doherty a standard 6.
I think Doherty was slightly better. I'll give Jerome a 6, but I think Doherty he looked dangerous, mate, when he come on. He looked hungry. And he used to play for him, so he was, making a few dangerous runs, and he's just come on a bit too late. But I'm going to give him a 6.5.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, that's the player ratings. As for a man and match, obviously I'm a match reaction. I didn't really want to give one. I'm not going to give one. Are you going to give one?
Mine was Lockyer, man. So.
Yeah, there you go. Fair enough. Then fair enough. I just felt, obviously there's, Nathan Jones thing. Always going to play a part. But it just weren't great. Of course, as we know. But yeah, any final thoughts on that game you want to say? I'm guessing not, but. There you go. But moving on to the last game before the World Cup tomorrow. Obviously, we were at home. Obviously, we're taking on Rotherham United. We obviously, like my dad said earlier, got that win against Sheffield United. I think I said 2-0 Sheffield United. I was obviously surprised, only due to the fact Sheffield United were at home. They tend to do all right at home. If it was away, I wouldn't necessarily be shocked. Rotherham, most of the season, have done all right at home. For me, they're doing well in their first season back compared to what they're usually like. Obviously, they're usually floating around the bottom. They're doing well for me. Obviously, they sit 14th in the league. Obviously, we sit 9th. They're on 25 points. We're on 29. If we win, depending on other results, we could maybe jump into the playoffs, depending mainly on teams up until Norwich, really, which are obviously 4th. Down to obviously where we are. Even Birmingham as well. Depends what they do. Millwall, that's what I mean by the Championship. It's very tight. As for Rotherham, if they won, they could go maybe 10th. Again, depends on what Birmingham do tonight, and Millwall, and even Coventry, Reading. It's mad. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. But yeah, it's one of them. How am I feeling going into it? It's difficult for me because, Mick Harford, when he took over last time as an interim, obviously we went up, obviously in League One. I don't know. After seeing that Rotherham win against Sheffield United, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, that is a really good win away from home. Like Dad said earlier, maybe maybe Sheffield United were underestimating them. Either way, to get a clean sheet, I think they do deserve credit there. I don't know about this one, and seeing how we are at home sometimes as well this season, I don't know. It could completely be different because obviously, it's a new era in that sense. Mick Harford, again, another person that knows the club well. Like I said, when he took over as an interim in League One, we done really well, and obviously went on to win the league. I remember watching the game with my dad away at Accrington. Obviously, didn't go to it, but away at Accrington Stanley, the very dominant performance. That's one game I remember him over, when he took over to do what he's doing again. I don't know. Rotherham, like I said, doing better than they usually are. you know, obviously Kyoso's back playing for them. Obviously, the reason why he left us is mainly because it was always going to be difficult for him to get in the first team. He's looks like he's doing decent there from what I'm seeing since he's come back. Yeah, man, it's gonna be an interesting one. I'm a bit iffy on this one. I like I said, it might be different. You know, Mick Harford, obviously, last time interim, he done well. But I don't know. I just think, you know, Rotherham are a decent side. Just our home form is a bit shaky. But Dad, how do you feel going into this one?
I feel all right. I think we've got enough to beat them. Yeah, they started off doing all right, but you know their form recently, apart from that Sheffield United game, they've been leaking goals left, right, and centre. I think we're going to be in the mood for it now. Do you know what I mean? The advantage we got is Nathan Jones has left before. You know, so we've got that extra sort of kicking us, and I just think we'll have it for this game. So I'm quite confident. You know, Big Mick's going to be out there.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, it's a home game. The game would probably be expected to beat them anyway.
Yeah.
Nathan Jones was still there, so what's really changed that much? I still think we've got the tools to beat them. I think we will. And let's see who's if there's anyone's in the stands. You know what I mean? Watching the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That will be interesting. But yeah, let me see. Obviously, injury news, even for Rotherham, of course. Obviously, we still got the same out, I believe. Like I said, I know players like Woodrow and a few others will obviously be back after the World Cup. As for Rotherham, if it wants to load, they've got Bowler out, who is a defender, 23. He played towards the start of the season, but even then he only played 2 games, then got injured again. So interesting. As for us, obviously Bradley, Burke, Lansbury, Shea, obviously as we know, and then Woodrow questionable. No offense to Glenn Ray, but I don't know why he's still on there. And then obviously, Fred, yeah, exactly. So obviously a lot of injuries, of course. Yeah, we'll just get into the lineup. Obviously, we'll do what we usually do. You know how that is. So yeah, obviously, I'm gonna go with. Oh no, not this one. Why has it changed? Why has it done that then? What one was it? That one. We're gonna go with a 4-1-2-1-2. Obviously, with the issues, obviously we've got. Goalkeeper. Now, do I reckon Ethan will be back for this one? Yeah, I'm gonna say he will be. I think he will. I said there's no, thing saying he illness still, so I'm gonna say he is back for this one. Left back, obviously, I'm gonna go with Bell. So I'm gonna go back 4 again, like I said, due to the lack of centre backs that we have. Amari Bell, left back, obviously on the right, obviously Bree. I mean, you could, maybe say someone else, but I'll just go with the usual 2. Centre backs, you got to go. You got to go Lockyer, definitely, without doubt. And I probably will go Osho again. Again, due to the lack of options. CDM, I'm gonna go with Ruddock, probably. Yeah, Ruddock. Midfield, obviously on the left, Campbell, of course. A shadow of a doubt. And then the right side, I'm gonna go again. Midfield, obviously Lansbury's still out. We go with Clark. Here he is. Cam, I'm gonna go Berry. And then up front, I'm gonna go with the usual 2, which is obviously Elijah Still hasn't got a picture. I need to sort that out. And obviously Morris. You know, people might go with something else because obviously we are at home. They might not go as defensive as I have, which I could understand. But that's what I'm going to go with. Dad, did you change formation or any players or anything?
All I'm thinking is Lockyer going to be, you want him to be 100% up for this game because obviously he don't want to get injured. If he gets injured in this game, his World Cup dream's over. So it's a bit of a difficult one that for me. But there's a slight possibility we might go for, the three at the back. So with we might put Bell, Bree, and Osho, and then maybe have Doughty on the right hand side or the left hand side, and Clark there as well. I think that could happen. But if we were to go with this formation, then I'd probably keep it out. I would probably replace Berry with Freeman. Though.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It's
going to be interesting whether Lockyer. I don't think Lockyer is going to play.
Yeah, Jackie's asking the question in the comments. She's saying
certainly not get taken off after an hour or something. I reckon. So we will be doing some shuffling, but I think that if it starts like that, then if not, then we'll put Bell, Osho, and Bree, and then we'll we'll make makeshift probably Doughty on the left and Clark on the right, and then in the midfield we'll swap around accordingly. Maybe but I still think Freeman will be there.
Yeah, fair enough then. Fair enough. Big up Reese, he says Glenn Wright isn't part of the squad list. Exactly, that's what I mean by I don't understand why he's still on the thing for injury news. Big up Dylan, talking facts in my opinion. Big up to Nathan Jones, done a great job and cannot blame him for an opportunity of a lifetime. Exactly, it links to what I said earlier. It's once in a lifetime. Can you blame him? No, not for me. And then obviously, like I said, Jackie was questioning, will Lockyer play? She doesn't reckon he will either. So fair enough. Score prediction, Dad. How do you see this one going? Obviously, you said you're confident going into this.
Yeah, I am confident. I think that we will get the win going into the international break, and then we'll see but when we come back, we'll have a new manager. Certain players will be back from injury and being eased into the squad. It'll look a lot healthier, and let's go. And this is just doing it for Mick as well, doing it for the fans, doing it for everything. It's just the club set up to do it. I just think that we're good enough and we'll beat them. If we play, how we did in the second half, but obviously put the chances away.
Yeah.
Right, do you know what I mean? I just think that the players ain't going to suddenly turn crap and start sliding down the table just because Jones ain't there. They've still got that infrastructure, and they've had it not just for this season; they've had it for a number of years for certain of them players. So it's not just going to drop off.
Yeah.
And that's why we've got Mick in, and it's only going to be for this one game, I believe. And I do think we're going to win, so I'm going to go with 2-1 Luton.
Fair enough. 2-1 Luton. That'd be good. Any sort of win, of course, would be good. My score prediction, like I said, it's one of them for me. Like I said, I know what we can be like at home sometimes. Like I said, it could be different. Obviously, when Mick Arthur took over last time as interim, he obviously done really well. And like I said, standout game I remember from that was that Accrington Stanley game we watched together, Dad. The 3-0 away from home. We were very good in that game. I just don't know. Rotherham, like I said, they're doing better than they usually tend to in the league. Again, Sheffield United, I agree with you in the sense where they probably did take them lightly. But still, I just think to go there and get a win it's not easy to do. I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to go with a draw, unfortunately. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Goal scorers?
Adebayo and Morris.
Nice. Apparently Morris is suspended, apparently.
No, I think that it goes up to 10 games after a certain period of time. So
yeah, that's what I thought. It was after
he beat
Blackpool.
their
It's been
line,
good,
so it's
basically.
fine.
Yeah.
And so will even if Elijah gets one now, it goes up to 10 now. So
Yeah.
he's not suspended.
Yeah, it's fair enough. So the front two, I reckon, will get the goals. Who do I reckon will score? I'm going to go with... I'm going to go Clark. Go Jordan Clark. I remember a lot of times last season where weren't so great in games and he got the goal. Like, I remember Cardiff at home. He was the only shining light. Like, I'm not saying that's going to happen again. I don't know. I just feel he'll score. And yeah, there you go. Let's go through other people's predictions. Obviously, I save others from the start of the chat till later on as well. Kenny did say his prediction. I am trying to find it. Obviously, he's not confident for us on 2-0 Rotherham, unfortunately. If we didn't score at home, I'd be fuming. I'll be honest. I'll be on it. I would be fuming. And then Jackie's gone with... where's the comments? They just keep disappearing. So they all want to play well to try establish a place. 2-0 Luton. Come on, you Hatters. That'd be a very nice win. Clean sheet as well. It's a decent Rotherham side. So, yeah, there's that. There you go, people. There you go. And that is Hatters Show episode 60. 70, sorry. I don't know why it says 60. Done. Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Dad, for coming on again. Much appreciated, like always. Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Where you're going to have one eye on the Nathan Jones, sitting over the path from Jurgen Klopp. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try and watch both games at the same time. Obviously, my main priority will be Luton because obviously I will do a match reaction update. I'm not going to it, unfortunately. I did want to try and go to it, especially if it being the last game before the World Cup. But unfortunately, I won't be going. But I will definitely watch it, of course. And like my dad said there, I'll be keeping an eye on Nathan Jones. See how he does against Liverpool at Anfield away. It's going to be weird. I didn't think I'd see that unless it was the FA Cup or something like that. But there you go with that. Yeah, there's not really too much else to say. I'll be back again at 8 p.m. to do Premier League predictions. Obviously, that is the last game week as well before the World Cup. So, yeah, that is that. Don't forget to smash a like on the stream if you haven't already. Ended up on 15 likes so far. So big up everyone for that. I see we got a lot of likes before we went live as well. That always helps with the algorithm and getting it out to people. So big up yourselves for that. And yeah, don't forget to smash a like if you haven't already. Subscribers, we gained any new subscribers during the stream. Just have a look. Obviously, big up if we have. No, not quite, but big up everyone that has been in and all of that. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload or a scheduled stream. And if you do want to follow me across my socials, obviously links to them are in the description. And yeah, subscribe to my other channel as well, T-Boys TV Extra. Link to that is in the description as well. And yeah, hopefully Luton end it on a high. We'll see. Hopefully it's not my result. Hopefully it's a result, like my dad said, or Jackie.
Who do you think is going to win the World Cup?
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, we'll go through that. As I suppose, we'll probably do a review to the Hat Show at some point. But I don't know. I've just got a feeling the timing of when it is, I think it's going to be someone no one really expects. They still be someone like who's won it before. I just feel no one will really. I don't know. Is anyone saying Germany as a favourite? Because that's who I think I'm going to go with. Obviously, I'll do a prediction thing nearer the time, but
I think it will be someone unexpected.
Because the thing is, Germany is still on the up. Like they're still trying to rebuild. Obviously, they've got Hansi Flick, a good manager. They've got some good players still, and I think they want to redeem themselves after the Euros. Because obviously, against England, they should have not won, but they should have definitely done better. You know, they missed some good opportunities in that game. Muller's chance, for example. So I think I'm going to go Germany. It might change near the time, but yeah, I'm going to go Germany. Yours?
My quick thoughts is just. Possibly Brazil.
That's fair enough.
I just think, there's always they're due a good tournament, and I just feel like they're going to have enough. I never used to playing in like the heat. 'Cause it's still hot there.
Yeah, true.
I just think that it's going to be there. Yeah, but we'll see. Anything, anything can happen in this World Cup because it's just it's totally weird because it's the wrong time of the year. It's during the season. It's just it's just going to go all out for it. Like they're not going to be thinking, oh yeah, but I've still got to go back to Arsenal and try and win the league or whatever. Like they're just going to go all out for it. But I think a certain player's going to be tired as well. Do you know what I mean? You could say like after a normal season, then it goes, you know, they've done a whole season, but it's just a lot of games too quickly. I think they've had, and they're going to have. So I think it's going to might even affect the quality of the tournament.
Yeah. Injury lists as well have already hit. You know, I don't want to imagine what it's like during the actual thing.
Highest quality tournament, but I do think the teams that haven't had these heavy schedules and that are gonna just perform better. So I don't think it'll be won by a team from Europe. I think it'll be won from someone from the, you know, America, South America, not America, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Sort of, I reckon that's what I think.
No, that's fair enough. Brazil will want to prove a lot of doubters wrong as well because they haven't picked certain players like Firmino and that. And for me, he's had his best season since his other best season for Liverpool, which I believe was 17-18. So interesting.
Apart from that penalty.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. You already know my thoughts on people that do that, even if you play for my teams that I like. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But there we go. So yeah, we'll see what goes on with that. Obviously, I will be doing World Cup content, of course. Hoping to do every single England game watch along. Hopefully, even fan cams as well. And then, yeah, we'll see how the knockouts works. If it's similar to the Euros, where they're shot at once at a time, we'll see what goes on. Sean Dyche, someone's coming in. Sean Dyche, give me the job. You don't want the job, mate. You don't want it, apparently.
Holding out for a Premier League job.
Yeah, exactly.
If you give it 18 months, you might have Southampton job. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. And then Hanno says there's not a real fate. Nah, there's not, mate. It's difficult. It's difficult. But we'll see what goes on. But yeah, that is it. That is the end of the Hatter Show. Obviously, episode 70 done. Like I said, there'll be a match reaction from me. Not sure if anyone else, but we'll see. We'll see what goes on. But yeah, smash a like, subscribe to the channel, all of that. Share the channel. You already know the drill. And I'll be back again at 8 p.m. for Premier League predictions. So yeah, big up yourselves. Stay safe. Take care and peace.